how would you guide someone through, a loved one, a daughter, your, a friend having a panic attack, you happen to be in the room, what would you say to them to guide them through?
Well, panic attacks are mostly fear of fear. So usually what I would see in my practice is people would say, the other day I was on the bus and I felt this just well up inside me, this feeling of just impending doom. And my heart started to beat really quickly. I started to sweat and I didn't know what it was. Now, what will happen is they will get that again. Their body first will start with these things, and then their mind goes, and this is where everything trips over. What if this is a heart attack? What if you're having a stroke? Now those two things link together. So the body starts getting really, really activated. The mind starts believing I'm having a heart attack, and the worry aggravates the alarm in the body. So the body's reaction gets more and more intense. And when we do that, it shuts off the prefrontal cortex. It shuts off our ability to be rational and understand what's going on. So not only do we feel this fear in our body, our brain, which is a meaning-making, make-sense machine, has to figure it out. So it figures it out by saying, oh, you're having a heart attack. Oh, you're having a stroke, which doesn't help you.
No.
So it winds up, they wind up sort of layering on top of each other in what I call the alarm anxiety cycle. The alarm is in the body, anxiety is in the mind. They link together. Anxiety is two things. It's alarm in the body, anxiety in the mind. It's not just one. So when those two things link together, you go into this runaway train and it shuts off your rational ability. And then you start believing that you are actually having a heart attack or a stroke. Now, tracking back a little bit, I have never seen anybody with panic attacks who wasn't wrestling with a internal problem. And I'll give you an example. I had a patient of mine years ago who was having an affair on her husband. Loved her husband, loved the other guy as well. But she had to split. She had to divorce one of them. She had to let one of them go, essentially. And she was having panic attacks for 6 months until she was able to make this decision. So when I see someone with a panic attack, the first thing I'll say is, what is it that you're avoiding? What is it? What is the conflict, the stone and the hard place? Where is this with you? And just about everybody knows. They are dealing, when you point it out to them in that way, they'll say, yes, I have this job. I've been in it 20 years. It pays me a fair amount, but I hate it. There's always some. And so it's finding that point. And that's usually the pivotal moment where you go, okay, can you do anything about it? Some people can, some people can't. Now, what I get people to do, and this is hard, and I still do this to this day, although I haven't had a panic attack in a couple of years now, is, can I swear on this program?
Totally.
Okay.
Apologize in
So,
advance if you
yeah.
don't like swearing, but we're swearing.
But it's important for the method.
Okay.
So when I start feeling a panic attack coming on, I tell myself, I'm going to make this the best fucking panic attack I've ever had. Like, come on, bring it on. Bring it on. Let's go. Let's go. Bring it on. Make this the best panic attack I've ever had. So what that does is you're no longer afraid of the fear abjectly. Now you're actually, you're saying, I take the fear on. So instead of this wall of water coming at you and you pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back until it finally, crests over you and crushes you, you incrementally accept the panic, accept the pain, accept the fear response that you're getting. You bring it in. You tell yourself, I'm welcoming this. Now, it may not have anything to do with it, but in your mind, in your prefrontal cortex, in your default mode, you are telling yourself, I am accepting this. And how panic attacks really crush us is the resistance to them. So this is harder, easier said than done.
Yeah.
But it's learning how to teach yourself, A, what thing am I avoiding? Can I deal with that? And B, if I do start getting a panic attack, can I tell myself that I really want to welcome this in? I really want to bring it in, because that prevents the crescendo of the panic attack that crushes you. The other thing that I would do with people with panic attacks often is I would give them a couple tablets of a benzodiazepine. And I know benzos are like, oh, they're the devil's work or whatever. But I give you 2 tablets, 3 tablets. You're not going to get addicted to 3 tablets. And what happens is they start getting a panic attack. They take the Ativan or the Xanax or whatever it is. In 10 minutes, the panic attack is pretty much gone. In 10 or 15 minutes. So after that point, all they need to know is that they've got another one of those tablets in their wallet, their purse, their pocket, and they can handle it. So that the worst thing about panic attacks is you don't know where they're going to end. So when you know they're going to end, or you know you have something that ends them, that will stop the panic attack. So it's a form of anxiety. It's an extreme form of anxiety, but usually, almost always, there is something that you're not following through with. There's a rock and a hard place situation in your life, and you're not dealing with it.
And so, post benzo, now you're off the cliff. You're not going to die. You
Right.
calm down in your body, and then you can investigate what that might be, knowing that if this happens in the future and you haven't fully resolved this rock and a hard place situation, you've got a solution to save your life. The perceived like threat
Yeah,
on
you can
life.
attack it from different ways. You can attack it from the root cause, which is what's the rock and the hard place in your life. You can attack it from when it starts coming up. You can start embracing it rather than pushing it away. And then just sort of seeing that you're losing your mind in a panic attack. So you can sit there in this flushed state and just go, I have this thing that maybe we'll talk about later called sensation without explanation. So basically, it's staying in the sensation, even if it's uncomfortable. Actually, especially if it's uncomfortable, staying with it, like staying right there with it. But don't let your mind get into it. Just allow yourself to feel, like feel, whatever it is, sweating, heart palpitations, whatever it is, feel that. Don't allow your mind to start making sense of it. Because as soon as you do that and your mind comes up with a reason why you're freaking out, which is probably going to be wrong, that's just going to start the cascade. And this is true for healing anxiety in general, is being able to stay with a sensation, learning how to understand this is a sensation in my body. It doesn't mean anything other than there's part of me, specifically the younger part of me, that needs a bit of attention right now, that I haven't been quite whole with myself. I haven't been quite giving myself an approach to this anxiety that involves the younger version of me, the adult version of me, my mind, and my body. And we can talk about that too.
Totally. All of this is so good. I mean, literally, again, I could not recommend your book enough.
Thanks,
Like,
Cal.
because it really breaks it down. And I know you say some people have mentioned that it's repetitive, but like that's what we need to reprogram the mind and understand that worry gives us an illusion of safety, and it's actually not, or illusion of certainty.